Ready?
What up and welcome to Rama Screen YouTube channel, and here's my review of NBC's new comedy series, Stumble. Let's rock this. Okay, so thank you to NBC for having granted me the advanced screeners to the first few episodes of this new show. And so let's just get right to it, shall we? What is my verdict? Well, the best way to describe Stumble is it's kind of like Bring It On meets The Office. Now, I personally think that mockumentary is an overused, played-out storytelling format, as evident by The Office spin-off, The Paper, which was extremely dull to me. But if you still think that mockumentaries entertain you, then you might find Stumble enjoyable. Now, the problem I have with these first few episodes I've already watched is that all of the funny parts are in the trailer. Meaning, if you've watched Stumble trailer, you'd immediately think, wow, those jokes are funny. True, they picked out the best ones, but the rest of the jokes in the actual episodes are lukewarm at best and trying too hard at worst. I'm not necessarily saying that this show is bad, but it's a mixed bag, and I'm leaning more towards giving up on it and not willing to continue to see if the subsequent episodes could turn out better. You see, when Stumble hits that funny spot, it's really funny. But more than often, it just fumbles and falls on the floor with a thud. But I guess it lives up to its title, which suggests a trial and error process, which is what these characters go through because they are a work in progress. The performances, the production value, everything about it exudes confidence. But the humor is more of a miss than a hit. Written and executive produced by Jeff Astrof and Liz Astrof and directed by Jeff Blitz, Stumble is a mockumentary about the ridiculously high-stakes competitive world of junior college cheer, starring Jen Lyon, Taran Killam, Ryan Pinkston, Jared Austin Brown, Anissa Borrego, Ariana Davis, Taylor Dunbar, Georgie Murphy, and Kristen Chenoweth. Again, just to make myself perfectly clear, Stumble is not a terrible show. It's just not as hilarious as it thinks it is. But the saving grace is that all the setup is there for it to be at least a pretty engaging show because everybody likes a story about underdogs. So I think some audiences would be curious enough to see whether or not this group of misfits could get their act together and shine. And to be fair, the quirks that these characters have are quite amusing. The narcoleptic girl, the self-absorbed football player, the short-tempered criminal, the suck-up assistant. It's a collection of why on earth would you round them up for a cheerleading routine. So, their eccentric, quirky personalities are sufficiently interesting. The problem is that the placement of their humor and the timing of said humor when their personalities serve as a punchline, a lot of it just seems forced and shoehorned. It doesn't naturally fit, or it doesn't feel like it happens organically. Having said that, I like the couple dynamics between Jen Lyon and Taran Killam. Their chemistry is cute and adorable. Their characters complement each other, despite one wanting to start a family and the other wanting to stay an ambitious woman. It speaks volumes about many couples in our society today. But again, the humor often misfires. Like, really? The camera crew would follow them into their bedroom and they would still have to break the fourth wall and look at the camera every single time? It just seems a bit too much, to the point where even a suspension of disbelief can't rescue it. Now, Jen Lyon is pretty solid as the lead. She does well in balancing the absurdity happening around her with her character's determination. But you can also tell that Jen's performance is limited by the script or the material that's pretty shaky in its quality. The choreographies on the cheerleading routines are the show's highlights. They are nicely executed. Even when it's intentionally meant to be comical and disorganized, there are still aspects about those choreographies that are admirable. And kudos to the actors for pulling them off. And finally, as much as I am a huge fan of Kristen Chenoweth, unfortunately her character and her way of playing said character is way too over the top. The joke about her being short may be chuckle-worthy the first time, but it loses its charm the second and third time they keep bringing that up. She has the potential to steal the show, but she comes across more as a nuisance who constantly keeps interrupting the story flow. So yeah, overall I give Stumble the rating of 2.5 out of 5. Do I think this show might grow legs? Perhaps. Only time will tell. But judging from these first few episodes I've seen, I'm just not willing to continue to invest myself in a comedy that's just tepid.